Welcome to Refuel with Reverend Johnson and Reverend Rob. What's up? Hey, everybody. It's so good that you all are joining us on Friday at 7 p.m. Whoa!
We're back.
We're back. It's so good to be back with you all. Good evening, good evening, good evening.
Hello. It's Friday. It's good to see you, man.
It's good to see you too. What's up, Johnson?
What's up, Robinson? How are you?
Come on, get online and share this with people. We got an exciting evening for ready for tonight.
Let's talk about that. Hello. How are you?
I'm so good.
It's Pastor on the screen.
Look.
I want the world to know, got to let it show.
What's going on, Johnson?
I was expecting you to be doing your little wiggle.
Well, let me see. The reason why I didn't do my little wiggle was because I was looking on the side. I was like, oh my God, I don't say mine live. But then I didn't want to say anything because, our production manager would have had something smart to say. And, we are tired and, listen, what's going on, Mama?
It's another day.
It's another day.
How are you?
I'm good. We're here. We're here. We are here. So check this out, everybody. Listen, we thank you all for chiming in with us for this amazing evening. The Refuel team has decided to embark in what we would consider to be self-care. We always talk about self-care, right? And so for these next couple of weeks, we'll be running some amazing sermons. If you did not know, Refuel started off with us actually sharing sermons from like years ago that we still thought was relevant today and will continue to inspire, motivate you, and refuel you for the rest of the weekend until you got to your next refuel station, which was church, choir rehearsal, Bible studies, fun outings, movies, or whatever it was going to be. So it was to continue to stay connected to the community as we was enduring the pandemic, COVID. And so we are actually 1 year from when we first started, Johnson.
I know. Was that your elevator speech?
You didn't take the go. You didn't go, so I was like,
"Well, you went. It was brilliant. That's a refuel elevator speech. Like the next time somebody asks me, well, what refuel is? Like I'm gonna say exactly what you said. That was amazing. It was amazing.
Oh,
yes.
This is what we do. We cut up, y'all. We didn't do it for a year.
To figure out who was gonna. He was like, "You're gonna do opening. I'm gonna do opening. You're gonna do." No, we're gonna do it just like we do it on Friday, where you're gonna go and you give this studious speech about where Refuel has been. Oh, we have been started, and we're now enjoying self-care. We've been doing this for a year, bruh.
1 year.
Listen, and it's been, like you said, so what I appreciate is the evolution, right? And going from looking at some of our past sermons that have pretty much been spot on, and then realizing that there was so much going on current day in the world that while we could have found messages, and truth be told, we came up to some quality issues as it pertains to how it was recorded. Let's be honest. And there was just so much stuff going on in the world that we had to evolve, right? We had to evolve, and we had to continue to refuel folks and create a space for people where they can come and hear some stuff, perhaps from a perspective that they're not getting from their local news, from their national news, right? From other types of worship spaces, right? And so, yes, in all of that, so it doesn't just start with Friday night. Friday night is when we get on camera and Sean brushes his beard. But before we get to Friday, we are planning, and Ashton is sending notes, and we're updating production sheets, and
yeah.
Right, it's a lot, right? And we're talking about things are changing so much that we may have a concept on, Saturday, but come Wednesday, something has happened and we've needed to shift and adjust, right? And
that's what we've been doing. We've been successful with that.
and
Great.
we've been successful. We've been successful. And now it's time to pause and take a moment, right? And it's what I appreciate was Pastor's comment on Sunday when we reminded him that we would be we started off with 1 week and then we decided, hey, listen, we really need 2 weeks. And then with the anniversary, we really wanted to do something different. And for him, which felt to me like confirmation, right? Because I do question kind of do we take a break, whatever, but confirmation that it was in his spirit to ask us, when were we going to take a break?
Yeah.
Right. And so I appreciate that. And that's another reason why I appreciate his leadership, is because he's tapped in to that as well. So we talk about you said we talk about self-care, and
we have to be an example of it, right?
Right. And so this is how we do it, by taking a moment and taking care of ourselves, whatever that looks like, right? And that's what we want to encourage you to do. Yeah. So when we're not live on Friday, like, what are you doing? Sure, we're gonna post something, right? We're gonna want you to watch it. We'll probably be watching it as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's one of those things where a lot of us who as we've navigated this pandemic, we have been taking care of ourselves, and we've also been worrying, right? Because we've been super self-conscious about doing the right thing, or how are we exposing ourselves, that now what I appreciate about this time is we are intentionally taking a moment to pause, so we can come back refueled to continue to refuel you.
Right.
So, Sean, what does self-care look like for you?
Self-care looks like for me, Johnson, is to be able to go play tennis on Friday nights, to be able to spend some time with my partner on Friday nights, something that we have not really been able to do early on Fridays, or go to some a happy hour, one that we get to wear a mask and be socially distanced, right? Spend some time out, in the mid evening or early evening, something that I have not had the opportunity to do, because we are always, while the Refuel airs at 7 Eastern Standard Time, we are communicating 2 hours ahead of time and getting ready. So it definitely takes up some time, and it is, we could not do this without our other partner in crime, at Deacon Canada Ashton Peterson. He's been remarkable with helping us take this to another level. Our visioning, he definitely brings to it, and he also helps get us our special guests. No, but honestly, like, it's going to give me some time to do some things. So on some Friday nights that I hadn't been able to do. So so on April the 17th, a special day at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be airing live our 1-year anniversary show. I want you to know that there's going to be some amazing things that are going to go on. We have some special guests from the previous shows, and we would love for you to chime in to just view us and see what's going on, see what's current, see what we have new up. And as I think about 1 year, I'm just grateful that we had the platform to do it. And we want to say a big thanks to all of those who have been supporting us each and every Friday, like all of the, from people in Atlanta, from people in Dallas, from people in Vegas, from people in Seattle, from people in New York, from people in DC, Maryland, and Baltimore. I mean, all of our family has been chiming in. Charlotte, North Carolina, it's just been an overwhelming support, and we love you, and we just can't wait to do it again for another year.
Yeah. So creating hope in a hopeless space, right, where many folks didn't know what to do. We wanted to stay connected, right? And it was very important for you and I to stay connected. And creating this space what has just been a refuge for myself. What I'm looking forward to in this self-care, similar to you, is being able to spend a Friday night with my family, right? And not have to, run in the house and then run upstairs and get prepared, but to actually put the babies to sleep on Friday night, or let them stay up a little later because I have a little bit more energy than I typically have coming downstairs at about 8:30. So I am looking forward to this moment away. I am excited about the 17th and what we will get to create. And then what? So you talked about like doing this for another year, right? And with anything comes visioning and planning. And so my hope, my ask is that you continue to send love and energy to us as we continue to create and continue to be mindful about what it is that we feel that it's important to share on our platform. As Robinson said, I echo, thank you so much to our production manager, Ashton, who is the brains, the mechanics, the motherboard behind the scenes. And he doesn't like to come on screen often, but when he does come, he drops little nuggets of knowledge that are just absolutely amazing. We could not be who you see without him.
So true.
Yeah, so we will, as Robinson has said, we will be back live on April 17th to celebrate our 1-year anniversary. You will see publications come out over the next couple of weeks as we lead up to that. So you have fun playing.
You have fun too with your family. Yeah. And by the way, so stay tuned because we have some great sermons that we're going to broadcast. Okay, so don't go nowhere. Okay. All right. Johnson, I love you.
I love you. He's pointing his finger. We're going to see how many times he pointed his finger. We're going to count that.
So I love you. Hey, kiss the babies. I love you so much. And hashtag the Revs are in, y'all.
The Revs are in.
See you later. We'll see you April the 17th, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
That was the 5 right there. 2 years later, April 17th. Bye. Let us look to God. We are channeling God's loving kindness. We know all is well and all will be well, knowing that despite whatever we are facing, God was not surprised. Thank you, dear God, for continuing to watch over us and to protect us. So it's with that knowing, it's with that knowledge that we will continue to run on to see what the end's going to be. Dear God and friends, abide in this message with us today. We seal this prayer in the name of love. In Jesus' name, amen. Our pastor, my pastor, Reverend Dr. Jamie Washington, gave us a Bible affirmation, and I am committed to, whenever I have the opportunity to speak, to make sure that I am intentional about reading this message. I don't care what pulpit I'm in. I don't care what oftentimes before I give any comments to things where church or religion may come up, I often pull some excerpts out of this. So if you would indulge me just for a couple of minutes, I'm going to read it into your hearing. This is my Bible. It contains basic instructions before leaving Earth. It is a primary resource in the development of my relationship with God. Now, while I believe it is inspired by God, it is not God. It is not to be used as a weapon, but as an instrument of liberation and life. I will pray over it as I study it, and I will interpret it through the inspirations of the Holy Spirit within. I have the right to question it as I apply its teachings to my life. My heart is open. My mind is alert. I am ready to receive a word from the Lord. Thank you again so much, Elder Washington, for instilling that in us at UFCB. And with that Bible affirmation, let us go to our Bibles. The scripture that I'm going to invite us to consider today is Psalms 139, verse 14. Psalms 139, verse 14. And I'm going to come from the New King James translation. And it reads, I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and that my soul knows very well. And so for a title, for a thought today, I would like us to hold, This Is Me. This Is Me, the song that you heard for the song of preparation was sung by Kaylee Settle for the soundtrack of the musical movie The Greatest Showman. The Greatest Showman is a rag to riches musical movie about P.T. Barnum, who co-founded Barnum and Bailey's Circus. As I entered 2021, I had renewed hope. With all of the brutality that we experienced in 2020, so if you were like me, you probably took a deep breath, a sigh of relief Friday morning of this new year. And I can't speak for all of you, but I'll speak for me. 2021 has been fair so far. In the 3 months and little into 3 months that we've been to, I'll say on public record, 2020 has been a little fair to me. But for those who follow pop culture, you may have watched or heard the recent interview that Oprah had with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. And so let me frame it right here. There may be some spoiler alerts. So if you haven't seen The Greatest Showman, you haven't seen the interview, I'm sorry, I'm going to spoil a little bit for you, but I encourage you to go and watch that movie and then watch the interview if you so choose. So in that interview, we learned of the prejudice of some members of the royal family. And as a world, we're still trying to navigate through prejudice, racism, bigotry, and hatred. I remember as a little kid thinking the hardest thing that I would be trying to figure out by the time 2021 came around would be how to fly a car, right? But here we are. 2021, still addressing the same topics that our ancestors faced so long ago. I shared with you the premise or the thought for today, right? And that's one of my favorite movies, The Greatest Showman. And what I appreciate is when I started working on this message and I got your theme and it began, this just all began to fall in place for me. So Psalms 134:14 really just came to me this morning. And I'm going to read it. I will praise you for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. This is the verse of praise to the Lord for creating us, right? It is also states how we view ourselves in the most positive way as we own that we are created by the hand of God. The title and the lyrics, This Is Me, is a song of pride, positive self-esteem, and self-acceptance. And when Deacon Lisa Diane gave me your theme, women and the power of our voices refusing to be silent is, to me, a declaration of pride, positive self-esteem, and self-acceptance. In the movie, the circus troupe, when they begin to sing this song, This Is Me, it is in defiance of the protesters mocking them for their uniqueness. The troupe banded together, kept singing, and refused to be defeated by the hateful voices that wanted to drag them down. The lead singer was the bearded woman, and she happened to be one of Barnum's favorites. He went out and he sought all of them, but in the scene when he sought her, he told her that she had some stuff inside of her. He gave her a voice, and he told her how powerful she was. But it is him in this moment that is refusing the troupe of the circus troupe. So at this moment, he is refusing to let them meet the opera star. And he took back in that moment where I'll paint the picture for you. In the movie, they're at the door. They're sort of backstage. So they're backstage and they're all at the door and they're so excited because one, they never thought they'd have access to these type of people. And then two, they were just excited she did an amazing performance. And then Barnum stands there and then the bearded woman is right here and he says, you all have a show in an hour. Go back to the theater. You don't want to be late. In that moment, he took the power away from them. And when they closed the door, they all had their head hung in shame and began to feel diminished. But there's a certainty, Unity Fellowship Atlanta, about the power of our voices. That once it's within us, it doesn't matter who closed the door on you. It doesn't matter who hung up the phone on you. It doesn't matter who didn't respond to your email. When you have a certainty about the power of your voice, once it is within you, it doesn't matter who's standing in your way. You must refuse to be silent. And so what she did in that moment is she dug deep and she tapped into that power, reclaiming her voice. And then she took her group hand in hand and they pushed through the door and they pushed through the crowd. And she proclaimed, "I am not a stranger to the dark. Hide away," they say, because we don't want your broken parts. "I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away," they say. "No one will love you for who you are, but I won't let them break me down to dust." This is an affirmation to you, Women's Committee. I won't let them break you down to dust. This is an affirmation to you, brothers. There is a place for us, for we are glorious when the sharpest words want to cut me down. I'm going to send a flood. I'm going to drown them out. I am brave. I am bruised. I am who it's meant to be. This is me. So the set of that movie was from the 1800s. Let us come back into the 21st century, right? And so I framed it with the interview with the Duke and the Duchess. And then I went beyond that and I started to look at our own community and ways in which people, we have been marginalized and we have tried to be silent. Sadly, in 2021, there have already been 11 transgenders or gender nonconforming people shot or killed by other violent means. And here in Baltimore, on New Year's Day, a local celebrity murdered her partner, forever silencing her. In recent history, we've had the pleasure of escaping January 20, we have the pleasure of escaping the political machine that worked endlessly to silence Black and brown and LGBTQAI voices. So, Unity, you asked me, how can we all dig deep, Reverend Johnson? How can we own the power of our voice? How can we have our "this is me" moment? Well, I'm glad you asked, right? So my first point today, Unity, this is me, to hold this thought with me. My first point would be, when life gives you lemons, make Stacey Abrams lemonade. The political machine in your state thought that they would silence this Black woman. But through refusal to remain silent, the entire world on January 20th, 2021 let out a sigh of relief. So I invite you, I offer you, I implore you that when life presents you with lemons, you can have your "this is me" moment by grabbing a bag of sugar, a couple cups of water, and slicing those lemons to make a beautiful ice cold glass of Stacey Abrams lemonade. And part 2 on how you can have your "this is me" moment, how you can refuse to be silent, is when you see something, say something. We are in this information age and it is easy. It's so easy just to go live, just to press record. But I challenge you that when you see acts of prejudice, when you see hatred, when you see our siblings in the trans and genders non-conforming community harassed, when you see people with physical disabilities being taunted, that you say something. You can record it. You can go live. You could be a part of it going viral. But what I want you to do is I want you to say something. There is power in numbers. There is power in the utterance of your voice. When the bearded woman made her push to find her voice, she took the whole group with her. And no one was able to silence them. So when you see injustice, you must say something. You must speak out against it. When life gives you lemons, make Stacey Abrams lemonade. When you see something, say something. And my final point this afternoon is, adversity is an advertisement to use your voice. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, I'm going to send a flood. I'm going to drown them out. I am brave. I am bruised. I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, because here I come. I can't be stopped. I am marching to the beat of my own drum. You know me, I don't really have no rhythm, but the beat that I'm marching to is my own beat. It's what's in me. It's the passion in me. I am not scared. I'm not going to apologize. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Adversity is your advertisement to use your voice. The thing that you thought would marginalize you, that you thought would make you small, that you, before you came to Unity Fellowship Church movement, you would have just gone on and you said, that ain't had nothing to do with me. But that adversity is your advertisement to use your voice. You want to not be silenced anymore? Use your voice. You want to be able to have your point heard? Use your voice. You want to not hold your head down in meek and lowliness and being ashamed of who you are? Use your voice. The words will be formed. The bruises may be there, but you are brave. You are who you are meant to be. Young ones, beautiful today, YOU. You are who you are meant to be right where you are. This is me. That is you. It's your moment. March to the beat of your own drum. Don't be scared. Make no apologies. This is you. You may be brave, even have bruises along your shoulders, along your sides. Have the old tapes in your head. But you always have to be true to yourself. When life gives you lemons, make Stacey Abrams lemonade. When you see something, say something. Adversity is your opportunity to use your voice. God bless you, Unity Atlanta. Thank you. So, thank you all very much for joining us tonight.
Johnson, kiss the baby squad.
So yes, it's our show.
Right? I love you too, and we're gonna get to do this again next week.
Have a good night, everybody.
Hey, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Shout it up. Subscribe to our Facebook. Get on subscribe. Here it is.
Right there.
Go to UFC Baltimore.
Catch the fist.